Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm gonna launch at 8:30 because it's 8:30 Eastern here, so I was planning on doing 9, but for the people that want a head start and are coming out to view, they get a little extra time. And then, yeah, it's early morning. People are waking up in the East Coast or on the West Coast, so it'll be like 5:36 throughout the day. It's not so good for the end time, but I find the end time doesn't really matter. People see the last like 24 hours instead of like the last hour. No one's really buying stuff in the last hour. But it's just like a good time because it's like the afternoon in other parts of the world where I get lots of purchasers. That's not the right word. Lots of customers, and yeah, it's just an all around good time. I mean, I'm pretty international with my sales, so launching at any time is good, and I just don't feel like waiting any longer. Everything's good to go. Well, I hope everything's good to go. So we got the approval from Kickstarter. And I've got circuit boards all around me, tons of stuff going on. It's always a little bit nervous launching, but we'll see. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully it'll go well. So that won't be the most exciting stream, but I thought it'd be fun to do. Everyone who's interested in getting one. Thanks, Dave. Take care, man. I'm actually in Canada, but close enough to the States. About an hour and a half drive to the border. Yeah, everything's done. I'm sure there's errors that I'll see partway through. It's not open yet. I'm going to launch in 25 minutes. And at that time, I'm going to launch the Kickstarter, release the YouTube video, which is the same as the Kickstarter video, but, you know. And then I have to make a post on Instagram, turn that into an ad. Also turn my YouTube video into an ad. I don't know, I might do some of this stuff on stream, or I might not, depending on how interesting it is, but also got to be careful about sensitive material and stuff like that, so not that there's really any when you're using Google AdWords or anything. Preferred layout, schematic layout tool is KiCad. I call it KiCad, some people call it KiCad, but I think it's KiCad. And I like it because it's fully open source. It's intuitive to me. Some people say it's not intuitive, but when I started with Eagle, making like footprints and stuff in Eagle was a way bigger ordeal than KiCad, so I went with KiCad after I'd learned Eagle, which wasn't the best thing to do. I wish I had just started directly with KiCad because I don't know, there were some things in Eagle that were kind of unnecessary to learn and made the learning process for KiCad a little bit more difficult. But I hit the limitations of Eagle in the free version, and at the time I wasn't really looking to pay for the software because I really wasn't using this for my business. I was just kind of doing it for fun. So I didn't. The limitations were there, and it was kind of annoying if you're designing a board and then suddenly you hit the limitations. So then I moved on to KiCad, sorry, and it just was a better program for me. And I suggest it to people when they ask me what they should start with. And there are some people that absolutely hate it, like anything. So, yeah. What else do I need to post? Also, be posting some Reddit threads. I think, yeah, I think I shipped to Pakistan for the Pixel. Let me check. I know there were some issues with fidget spinners. It's hard to know what all the countries will accept. Canada pretty much ships anywhere, so let me double check that. But sometimes the country who's receiving it doesn't always allow the item that I've sent, and it's like impossible to know all of the import laws for every country. So sometimes they just get taken once they're in the country and they never get delivered, and you never hear about it again. They don't tell you. So I'm gonna check now. I'm doing this on the other screen because it's got like people's names and stuff. So. I do have an air soldering station, but I use it only to fix and rework things. So it's normally on a shelf up above the camera here, and I take it down when I need it, if I'm moving something around. Okay, so I will say this, I don't know for sure if the component can be shipped to Pakistan, but I don't have anything in the Kickstarter that won't let you put that address in and have me ship it to you. And worst case scenario is your country doesn't accept it, or there's issues, or it returns to me, and then I would refund your money. But as far as I can tell, there should be no problem shipping to you. And there are no countries, any country that's listed in Kickstarter, which I think I have it set to ships anywhere in the world, will be shipped to. Whether or not that country accepts it, that's something I don't know. When I was shipping the fidget spinners, people were having, in Germany, they just decided to not accept. At some point during the time, they just decided to not accept any. And it was in the middle, well actually this happened after I shipped them all. So I'm fairly certain everyone got them, but in the middle, so like if something took longer and then Germany decided to return the fidget spinner, then that was that. They just weren't accepting any. How's everyone doing? Does everyone know what Kickstarter is? Yeah, the reason why, okay, so the glucose meter, I think it needs like so many improvements that it's not really even useful for me to release it. Like, it was more of like a thing, like a demonstration to show people who might be able to, like you, have ideas on how to make it better. But the hardware itself, I think, is very limited and needs a lot of updates. So I've been trying to work on it, but it's just something that I haven't been focused on. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those projects that I pick up every so often, but it's got a lot of challenges, so it makes it difficult. Hey, How's it going? We got 18 viewers. Does everyone know what the Kickstarter is about? This guy, my last video, HCC module. It's tiny. And maybe I'll talk about some other stuff that isn't mentioned in the Kickstarter that will be exclusive to this stream, at least for a few days. Electronics books? Not really. You know, someone asked me that before, and you know, I'm a product of the internet. I mean, I love reading books when I have time, but a lot of the stuff I learned was taking apart other people's projects, dissecting their code, looking at how things worked, open source files, and seeing how things are built. And yeah, so I don't really have any recommendations for books. Maybe someone in the stream could recommend some. I know there's a lot more knowledgeable people out there than me. I just make random things. So I try my best to show everyone else how to make them also. Oh, 21 viewers. Not bad. We're going to be launching in about 15 minutes. It's just going to be me clicking this button. I can't remember if what happens after I click this. It just says like congratulations or something. And I'll post a link in the stream for this and then make the video public. And I'm going to be releasing like a number of projects over the course of the Kickstarter. Got a couple here. It's not done. You can see it's got a little joystick on it. It takes the HCC module, and another thing that I'm working on, I'll show you. And this is just a little breakout that I made just for that one GIF. There's a GIF in the Kickstarter. Little Canada flag. This is cool. I did this on stream. This was the Cherry MX button switches macro keyboard thing. So I'll be doing little videos on my YouTube channel throughout the Kickstarter with those, and I have more. And if people want to suggest things that they want to see, that would be like a really simple build that I can use the HCC module for. Totally open to any ideas. So my day involves working on electronics, making videos, and exploring things on the internet, looking for design ideas, and just trying to be creative. But also, I help develop products for like companies or other people that reach out to me looking to have something made. So I'm like a person that can develop something very fast if you need to like have a prototype made and like a tangible device, but you just have an idea. You can explain it to me and I'll create something that works enough to show people how it works. That's generally the point that I get them to. I can work on more polished devices, but it obviously takes a lot more time and people to make something perfect, whereas if they have an initial idea to just show people or get investing or just get people talking about it, then that's like the place that I start, because that's what I like doing, is like creating something from nothing. Refining it and making it perfect, that's fun, but it does require, you know, more input, bigger team, whereas I can just put something together myself, and I have all the tools to do that. And most of the time I'm working on my own projects and trying to create things for a YouTube channel. So the end goal for me is to have a sustainable YouTube channel, creating things, and maybe, you know, coming out with the occasional product like the HCC module, or doing like Make 100s where I make 100 of something. That's what I'd really like. Yeah, you could take two of these modules, if I'm using that as an example. You could take two of these, which is basically an Arduino, and connect them by UART or I2C or SPI, and make one the master and one the slave. And yeah, you could definitely have one talk to the other one. Depends on what you want to do. I mean, would it really be necessary for two? That's the question you have to ask first, is what would be the purpose of having two? If it's to do like parallel processing, then that is possible, but I don't know if that would be the best option. So it really depends on what you're trying to do. So you'd want to, you want them both, thinking it's easy to put them both on a circuit board, but then you got to decide how they're going to talk to each other. Do they have to be precise in their timing? That kind of thing. And I think you could run them off the same crystal oscillator, but I'm not sure. Okay, 10 minutes. Be right back. Just going to turn the air conditioning. It's getting hot. So where's everyone viewing from today? Cool. I was worried about, I wasn't sure the time zone in Germany. I wasn't sure how late it would be. Trying to find the best time to launch, but ideally there's no best time when you're an international company or whatever, so it's just when you want to. And I didn't feel like waiting. It's 8:30 a.m. here. Well, 8:23. We're launching at 8:30. And I'm just going to double check some things. I'll launch a video. Awesome. People from all over. I don't know if any of you frequent Reddit, but I'll also be posting some HCC module things on Reddit, even though people don't really like self-promotion on there. I gotta do it. So I am user SeanHodgins, all one word, if you want to find me on there. Oh, lots of people from okay, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, Hungary. Awesome. Um, yeah, I'll post mine there, or other people can. Be right back. Gotta let my dog outside. Yeah, or maybe I could get some other people to post them so it's not just me self-promoting. 1 second. India, cool. Yeah, so I'm considering doing a bunch of different modules. Yeah, no, that'd be crazy. Well, I mean, the way it's designed is that it's easy to solder, so like the pin spacing isn't crazy. So that's kind of limiting on the size. So if you're trying to do a ton of 2560 pins, then it would get pretty big. Just because I want it to be easy to solder. All right, 3 minutes. Wonder if I could do a timer on here. Actually, don't know how. Let's see. Tidied up? Nah. Too much going on. I'll clean after I launch this, so when my head's clear. Let's see here. Oh, Google timer. Let's see. Oh, not that big. All right. Countdown is on. You need to solder on. So you need to make a board that has a USB connector. But because since there are like so many different types of USB connectors, you can get ones that are really easy to solder on. USB type A or whatever. Then, well, you get the early bird. You're here now. You'll see. And yeah, so you just need the 5 volts or USB connection at the top, and then plug it in, and it should be recognized. You may have to install like a driver for the SAMD, but that's about it. And you could like you could technically just take a USB wire and solder it onto these headers if you really wanted to. But that kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, you just find like a suitable USB connector, make your custom board, and then put it on. So once we launch, stick around doing a few things, post some links. I'll try to be entertaining. Hopefully, it all goes well. You never know. You know, everything has to be set up properly. HCC stands for half-cut castellations, which doesn't really have anything to do with the board itself, but I think if I turn this into a series, these little things are half-cut castellations. They're easy to solder. They allow it to be a surface mount board, and I'm going to do a whole thing on a whole series. Sorry, think about other things. A whole series on different microcontrollers and modules. Oh, there it is. Time to launch. You got it. We're recommending things. More things, yes. 31, August 23rd. Alright. Done these for a few times. What is this? Oh. It's a thing that isn't actually shipped. Thank you. There we go. Something else is wrong. That's weird. Never seen it do that before. Alright, let me edit it the proper way. I think I have to go back. Sorry, everyone. You're getting a sneak preview here. It's like I haven't ever launched a Kickstarter or anything. Alright. There we go. Yes, I know. And it's up. It's live. Let's tweet. Let me post the link for you. There it is. Yeah, you can put this module in a product you're selling. Sure. We have a backer. Alright. Twitter. And we gotta launch the YouTube video. Public. Thanks, Dave. It's awesome. Backer number 1. Love the support. Thank you. All right. Oh yeah, I know it's I can't remember if it actually does it changes the currency, right, for everyone who's viewing it, or does it show like the actual one? Yeah, it's a module for making smaller custom circuit boards. So it's got the bootloader on it, and you can just literally solder this onto a circuit board, like a gaming controller or uh, anything you want to make. It's got like the pinouts of a standard Arduino, but it's easy to solder, and it's got the small components on it, so you don't need anything else other than a USB connection, which is really cool. The reason why I made it is because if you've watched any of my videos, I use the SAMD a lot, which this will save me like a ton of time. Let's see here. So it's like a cool little module that I didn't really see anything similar that exists, and I'm gonna make a whole series of them so it's like people can learn to design their own circuit boards. So we could play the. Why don't I play the video so people can see it?
This is the HCC module. It is an Arduino-based microcontroller. It has a ton of GPIOs, low power, and most importantly, easy to solder. With a preloaded bootloader, just connect the USB lines and you're ready to program.
Like
Its
those
small
animations.
footprint makes it perfect for many shapes and sizes. Designing your first microcontroller
Don't normally do those, but
is a challenge. With the HCC
it's fun.
module, it's a breeze.
No, I don't want to listen to myself. You can watch the rest of that. But yeah, it's a tiny little module that, you know, if you saw the make board, this is an example, it's like, it's hard to go straight from the Arduino to the robot, but if you use this module, then it's like a lot easier to solder on. And it's got the SAMD21, but I think I'll do a few other ones. This will just see if people are interested. So I'll probably do a couple of other microcontrollers, smaller ones, bigger ones, different speeds. SAMD51 looks cool, and so I'll probably do one with that. No extra components needed, so when I say that, I mean you got the crystal, and we've got like power regulator and a reset button. Those are pretty much the general things that are going to have to be on every board just to make it like easy to use. And it's also got the RX and TX LEDs, so it's like a standard Arduino board, but it's in the shape of something that's like small, low profile, and can fit on a board really easily. It's just like, to me, it's super useful because I'm making these projects all the time, and then people are like interested in making their own boards, but they don't know where to start. I think this is a good place to start. And yes, of course, there are people point this out, and obviously I'm aware. There's ESP32s and ESP8266s, which are also a module, but you still need other. So the problem is you still need other components to talk this. You need an FTDI, and you need to also regulate the power. So those are things that, like, yes, this is a module. It's easier to solder, and they're very useful. But when you're looking to just start out or learn, or even just like have something you can just stick on ready to go, all you need is a USB connection. I have so many of these and I don't end up using them because there are limitations. There's a place for the ESP and there's a place for this, and that's kind of the reason why I made it. And yeah, you still need a USB connector. So that's like, but the reason why it's not on board, and this is like one of the reasons why I made it, is that if you're designing like a custom circuit board or custom enclosure, if the USB was on this, that means you would have to mount this somewhere against, like if you need that USB connection to be external to the thing you're making, then you would have to mount this right against there. So like, you know, if you used a trinket or something, which are awesome, if you used a trinket on your board, then that means you have to mount the trinket right to that place if you need that USB connection outside of the box, right? So by not having the USB connection on it, you can route it wherever you want and then put the connector there. So you're not limited by like the placement of the board. I can add labels to the backside. Thanks, Simon. That's awesome. Appreciate it. So we got 5 backers. Thanks to everyone who's back so far. So I can add labels to the backside, but it's also going to ship. I'm planning on shipping it in. They're going to come in boxes of 2. You can see they come in quantities of 2, 10, and 100. And on the box or inside the box, I haven't decided yet. It's going to be like a sticker or like a plastic thing that will have this with the GPIO labeled on it. So it's like a reference that'll be on the box all the time. So when you're designing it, or if like you need a little card, then that's going to be included in it. That stuff still needs to be worked out, but it'll be something like this that will tell you what the pinouts are. And for those curious, for the Arduino board, this is just a little demo board that I made. I have one here. So like this is just to show that it can be used. Like this is the typical size of an Arduino. Well, this is, and then there's the module on board. And in my last video, you saw how easy it was to make this. Designing this in KiCad took me literally like 30 minutes, which is awesome because normally if I was to design an Arduino board, I'd have to place all the small components, and yeah, you can copy and paste them, but you always have to rearrange things, redo the traces, and then when I order the board, it's going to take me time to solder those tiny components on here. And when I'm doing like small runs of things, like 10 or 20, then it's just going to save me time, like putting these modules on. And I think it'll be really cool for people to see what they come up with. 6 backers. No, I've only made libraries for KiCad so far, but I will make them or get someone to make them for everything. So yeah, if someone requests it for something, they'll get made. I'm also going to make a couple more that, you know, this one's the easy to solder version, which I'm using on things. So it's like for people that want to hand solder. USB only. Yeah, I could throw them together, or you can make one and put it on the Git and merge it with my Git if you want, Dave. It'll take you a few minutes. That's what's awesome about this. If you just want to make a slightly larger board, or even I was thinking of making just a board that actually just solders on directly to the top of this, and you could just like solder it on or break it off if you didn't want to use it. So yeah, if you want to do that, or I can do it, and submit a merge request on Git. Totally. And like I said, I'm going to be rolling out a bunch of projects over the course of the Kickstarter, some videos, so if people want to download the PCBs by the time they get the HCC module, then they can make them. Should be pretty cool. Yeah, I'll look into making an easy EDA. I've never personally used it, but I could definitely find someone to make it, or there's probably an easy converter or something. So the rewards. There's the hobbyist, which is 2 of them. As I said, they come in packs of 2. Enthusiast, which is 10. And the distributor, which would be 100. It's quite a few. And if it turns out to be too many, maybe I'll add a tier with 50 or something. We'll see. There's a bunch of early birds, but you also have to decide if you want the early bird or the one with the Kickstarter special, which will come with the components to do your own Arduino board. So it'll come with the USB connector. I may change this to an easier to solder USB connector, and it will come with the headers and the module. So you get 2 modules in this, so you can make one of them into an Arduino board, so you can prototype your projects with it. And I'm having them soldered in or assembled in Canada, but probably only a small quantity because otherwise it may take too long. And so I possibly will get PCBWay to do the majority of the assembly. I've been talking to them, and they're pretty interested in it. So, and I know some people there, so I've got really good contact with them. I've done a lot of work with them, and it's just a company that I trust. So shipping is included worldwide in the tiers. These are Canadian prices, so I tried to keep them comparable with other Arduino modules. Of course, I don't sell as many. Well, I don't know yet, but 9 backers, nice. 10! So I don't sell as many as some companies, so it's really hard to be competitive with pricing, but I'm trying as best I can. And like I said, this is a start, so if I find people really want them, maybe later on I'll release them on a web store and not do a Kickstarter. Who knows? It's all up in the air. But shipping is included in all these, so when you click it, there's no extra cost. Here's the Kickstarter edition, so it's the same cost as the non-early bird, but you get the dev board, and there's only 100 of these. And these say there's only 100, but as they fill up, I'm going to add more. So the reason I'm doing this is because some people with Kickstarters is they have one that, you know, if I suddenly had 5,000 backers in one tier and said I was going to ship in November, or October, sorry, I may not be able to make that possible. So, and these are great questions, by the way, I'll answer them. So what I'm doing is, if these tiers fill up, I'll add another one, but make sure that I can ship it by the date that it's set to. So these ones will be shipped at least by October. Often I ship early. But if I suddenly had like thousands of backers in one tier, I wouldn't be able to guarantee that shipping date. So the board, so the bootloader on this chip has native USB. So if you plug this in, so if you create your board and then plug this in, it will it will be detected by your computer because of the native USB on the SAMD. It may require drivers. I'm not sure with like Windows 10 and stuff, but it will be detected as a USB device, which you can program using the Arduino IDE. I haven't decided on if they'll ship with the Microsoft bootloader that they made, which allows CircuitPython or the Arduino IDE. So I'm still deciding on that, but you know, small little things. Oh, forgot to post my video on Instagram. I hate doing this promotion stuff, but you know, it's my business and that's how it works. So I'm gonna have to post on Reddit and have everyone yell at me for self-promoting, and then all the fun stuff. I'm gonna post a video on Instagram. Which I need to send it there first. Thanks, Tim. Awesome. We've got 11 backers already. That's great. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I could get people to post on Reddit. I don't like to bother people too much for annoying little things like that, but alright, let's use this. And if you don't follow me on Instagram and you are on there, I'm at idlehandsdev as usual. Same with Twitter. If you want to go and retweet the Kickstarter, that'd be cool if you have a second. If not, that's fine. Oh, I missed one thing here. Make. No. Make. Oh wait, yes. Yeah, I haven't spoken to him about it. Pretty bad with trying to get other people to do things. I don't like to, like I said, bother people, but you know how it is. Try to do as much as I can myself. What keyboard do I have? I have the old style DOS keyboard with the browns. But I think I'm going to make my own soon. Spoiler. Design the PCB and everything. Probably not a keyboard in Kickstarter, but you never know. It's there are people that are so good at designing those. I don't know if I'm good enough at worthy enough to design my own keyboard that people would want. But maybe. Happy with the way the HCC module turned out? Or what do you mean? Yeah, I think it's got everything on it that I want, definitely. I think I would have, if I could have, made it smaller. I could make it much smaller, but it's the pad layouts that I wanted people to be easy to solder. So that limited me to a certain size. So if anything, I would have liked to have made it a little bit smaller, but then that would have just been for me, and it wouldn't have like helped other people, and that's what I want to do. So and I think it's a fine size. I just think it could be smaller if I wanted it to be, but there's no reason for it to be smaller. And I'm gonna probably make some other modules like the SAMD 21E. Maybe I'll make one of those with like a smaller number of pinouts, and then maybe the SAMD 51. Might want to do one of those later too. So if people like this style module, I'm going to be doing other ones that will be for sale. And probably not as Kickstarters, maybe pre-orders. The reason why I don't like to do direct sales is I can make them cheaper if they're pre-orders um, because at least I know the sales have happened already. So I can estimate, I can do a quantity of 1,000. Whereas if I do a quantity of 1,000 on my own store, and then I sell 10 of them, I, you lose a lot of money. So because it's just me doing this, if I pre-sale them, then I can sell them for way cheaper because I can estimate the cost. Whereas like doing them one by one, it's going to it's going to cost a lot more, and you can't buy as many components at once. These are all things that save a lot of money. So nice, 14 backers. Awesome, Patrick. It's great. Yeah, the Kickstarter dev board. This. So I've added a couple of things on there that aren't shown here, but are pretty cool. And the design will look a little better, but for the most part, this is it, and it comes with all the components. And like I said, I may change the USB connector so that's easier to solder on. But, minor changes, as with anything when you're developing it, but it's pretty well there. Still haven't posted my Instagram video. Do that now. No, I don't think I'll be numbering these ones. It's funny how something, I know you're talking about the Pixel. It's funny how something as simple as numbering 100 boards from 1 to 100, how like that actually can be challenging. Because when you're trying to ship them off, you're trying to find out like what people got, what number, and eventually you've got like 100 boards. You're trying to ship them out. You're trying to do shipping labels, trying to finish them, trying to make sure they all work. It's just like it's so funny how that adds so much time to something. Just numbering and signing 100 of something. it's not that hard to. So let me show you a little sneak preview here of a video that'll be coming out soon. I made this on stream to flash the bootloader, and it goes in here, and then you just push it down, and then you press the button, and it will tell Atmel Studio to flash the bootloader on using this Atmel ICE. This is what I use to put the bootloader on. But the 5 pins on here, you could solder to them really easily, little tiny wires. I did it for the first one before I had that programmer. And you actually only need 4. You only need the VCC and ground, and then the SDIO and the SD clock. And if you have the ICE programmer, then you just connect them to those connections. And yeah, it's not that hard. I think I've done a video or an Instructables or something that shows how to program the bootloader, but that's one of the reasons, that's another selling point of this, is that it has it on it already, which is, yeah, which I think is pretty cool. Alright, let's see. Some hashtags for yeah, that one part was 3D printed, and I'll probably release all those files once I release that video in a few days, or maybe next week, we'll see. Got some comments. It's a good idea. Enthusiast here with an Arduino shield. I could do an early bird. I could do that. Maybe 50 of those. Yeah, that is a good idea. Brad, are you in the stream? Thanks, Gustavo. I gotta get rid of my picture here. This is freaking me out. Here, let's go to. Where's the. There we go. Hashtags for Instagram. I don't like how Kickstarter doesn't actually let you reply directly to people. $15 backers. Also, I haven't mentioned this anywhere yet, and I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I might try to do a so I might, what are they called? The reward, oh yeah, like if we hit a goal or something. I made this, which I haven't talked about yet, but it's a little tiny, it's going to focus? Come on. It's a little tiny LiPo charger module. And I'm planning on making a bunch of different ones of these. Maybe some boost buck converters. And see, it's the same size as the module. So this board actually has the charger on it, and you can see how it has 6 pins. It's only actually got 3 inputs. Well, yes, it's got the battery connection, a VCC connection, so like 5 volts generally, and then the ground. And those are connected on both ends, so if you needed to use this as like a bridge to connect your battery to something else, you can do that also. And the Arduino board, the updated version will have that footprint on it if you want to add a battery connection. But I haven't mentioned any of this in the Kickstarter because it's still kind of like a work in development, and it'll just kind of be an extra thing that will be included if we happen to get there. And yeah, what's cool about it is it's really small and it's easy to solder onto your projects. All right. Everything's working on YouTube. I never checked my video. Oh, I should add so many things to do. Should have had this stuff written out. So I gotta add. No, that would be too much. Typically with this regulator, it's 3.5 to 6, I believe. Here. What part is that? Just 1 second. Schematic. Should we open it? Thanks, Tim. Thanks for coming out, too. I'll open the schematic. But the files are on my laptop, so I gotta turn it on. Wait for that to start up. Do you have anything on your do you have anything on your drone that yeah, that stuff happens all the time. That's just me rushing. I like to I'll fix all that. Part of the problem is when I'm developing, sometimes I like working on my computer, but all the stuff is on my laptop. So it's like I use a network directory. It's kind of janky like that. Cerebral Dad, do you have anything that outputs 5 volts on your drone? Because, like the servo or anything? Because you could just tap it off that. Add it to the list of issues, the purple one. Yeah, okay, that would be a good connection then. So what'd you say? So U4, yeah, so this is the module itself. The reason why it's here is because this is the half-cut castellation footprint. So if I open the board, this is the outer footprint. That's what that connection is. It was just an easy way to do it. And you can see this is the updated, this is the final version. There's nothing really different about it. It's just I changed the regulator. I had a really tiny one on here, a really cool tiny one, but I didn't like the way it's soldered, and so all the images have the little square one, but I've changed to what I normally use, which is actually has a lower quiescence power. I think that's how you say it. So when you're not using any power, it's way lower. And yeah, pretty much that's it. So that's what that footprint is. Simple schematic. Pull-ups for what? You can do internal pull-ups on any of the pins, but there's none on the board. No, other than the reset line. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the old regulator I was using. Didn't like the way it soldered on, so I changed it to what I'm used to. Yeah, none on board. But of course, you can just, depending on what you're doing, you can use the internal pull-ups. I've heard the song in my Kickstarter video so many times, it's like stuck in my head big time. Yeah, I don't like that Kickstarter doesn't really allow me to set individual quantities, but the issue is when you start having a whole bunch of different tiers, it makes it difficult when the shipping happens, so I thought 2, 10. 10's like a good cutoff point. It's where most people do like a discount, most companies. So, and then 100, which is another discount. So the, you know, with shipping included, 17 bucks Canadian each if you get 100, which is like $12 US. Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure something out. I like to accommodate anyone that's, you know, they come out to the streams, view my videos, my viewers. So we can figure something out. Another backer. And everyone, the Kickstarter is now live, so go and check it out. It's pretty cool. It's called the HCC module. Yeah. Kickstarter is now live, so go and check it out. It's pretty cool. It's called the HCC module. Yeah. And well, they'll come in packs of 2, so we'll have to. You'll probably end up getting. You can buy. You could buy a second one through the through PayPal or something. You know how it is. It's easy. Figure it out. Yeah, I think I've pretty much explained anything. If anyone has any more questions, I see that people are doing the early bird hobbyist, Kickstarter Deborah, that's a popular one, and the 10 times, nice. You're not an idiot. I keep meaning to put it in the description for the live stream, which I was meaning to do, but I'm doing too many things at once. So it's there, and it's there. So it should be in the live stream description now. So the HCC module is now live on Kickstarter. Link here. Go and check it out. It's cool. Just doing some promotion on Instagram Live. Selling that soul so I can keep eating. Keep a roof over my head. I better make sure this link works. Oh yeah, perfect. I'm always like conflicted on what I should make the goal, because well, in this case, because shipping is included, it's kind of easy. But when you have shipping added on, Kickstarter also adds it. So if I was to set it up where like I wanted to sell 1,000 HCC modules for the goal, shipping would be included in that. So you're not really, so I'd hit my goal without actually selling 1,000. So, and then sometimes I think I should just make it low, because if I just want to make a couple, I could probably do that too if I don't actually hit the goal. But I think we will. I think we'll do fine. I'm hoping so. We're almost at $1,000. And yeah, I do this full time. I do a mixed bag of things that revolve around making prototypes and making electronics and mechanical systems. But I also, I'll also do commission work, and I will work for like companies designing early prototypes, things like that as well. But the goal is to have the YouTube channel and people watching my stuff. Oh yeah, you had that issue with the Pixo too, right? That's we'll figure it out. And let's see. So the goal is to have the YouTube channel and then make the occasional product and sell like 100 or 1,000 or something. And yeah, kind of incorporate those two things together, because I really love making videos. I love making projects, and I don't like being stuck to one like product all the time. But with this, with the HCC modules, I think they may be something that I could continue to sell as I'm making projects, because I'm going to be including them in my videos as well. Alright, I will be back in 1 second. Everyone thinks they sound stupid when they record themselves, especially me. So probably won't be able to help you with that once you view it. But I don't think anyone else will think that. I think you could probably contact Kickstarter and have them change your email address. If you're worried about losing your Kickstarter history, then I would say that's a good idea. What else do I need to do? Oh yeah, if people feel like posting my YouTube Kickstarter video. Oh, that's a bad system. People feel like posting my Kickstarter YouTube video to Reddit anywhere, let me know. I can upvote it, do all that stuff. I need to make an AdWords ad with the YouTube video so people can see it before their videos, which worked pretty well for the Pixel. Oh, and Instagram ads work pretty well too. It's really funny, I posted the video from, yeah, I pretty much send them everywhere. I was talking about this earlier, and Canada pretty well ships anywhere in the world. The issue comes in when the receiving company's customs doesn't allow certain things. So if I ship these as hobby electronics, your country may not accept them, but I can't keep track of every country, that's the issue. So I have no problem sending them to you. You just have to make sure that your country accepts things like that. I had some issues with fidget spinners in certain parts of the world. But they're a low-cost item, and if they happen to ship back to me and it doesn't work out, I can always refund the money. Stuff like that. Thanks, Patch Bots. Awesome. I'm going to add another tier, which I just mentioned I would do. That would be Hobbyist Kickstarter Special that will have the Arduino board. So I might add 100 of those. Because someone left a comment. So, yeah, I'll do that now. I should probably do that. Up. Hopefully Kickstarter shows it as a featured product. I know someone at Kickstarter purchased not sure, probably not as like a general thing to add the Arduino board, but because I'm only going to do a limited quantity of them. Things start to get really complicated when the orders get really difficult. My Twitter handle's at idlehandsdev. So actually, you know, the Arduino board, you'll be able to, if you want to, you could purchase it directly from like PCBWay. I'll put it on my profile on PCBWay where you just click to order it so that people can order them if they want. But it won't come with like the USB connector and the connectors and the headers. But that's one thing I can do. And yeah, so like once I start having those extra add-ons, it can make things really complicated. I try to avoid that. And when I try to avoid those things, that seems to make the Kickstarter a lot more efficient. And that's kind of the reason why I do it. But I want everyone to be able to get what they can, what they want to get. So I'm going to add the Kickstarter special to the enthusiast reward, which means they'll get an Arduino board as well, and I'll do 100 of those. and it will be the same price as the enthusiast. I should get copy rewards. Title. It's scary editing rewards because, or adding rewards because if you make a mistake, people can back them and then you can't delete them. So you have to like set a limit and then set a limit of how many people backed it and then just make a new one and then it stays there forever. Yeah, I'll make everything available, and also they will be available in the GitHub. I know that makes it harder, so I'll throw all that stuff up there. I try to do that as often as possible. And if you ever see a board that I make that isn't on there or isn't somewhere, or you want the files like not on GitHub, you can just message me, and for the most part I respond to everyone. So if you send me a message on Twitter or email me and say like, hey, can you add that to your PCBWay thing? I don't see it there. Totally cool with doing that at any time. I try to get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, Kickstarter special dev board enthusiast level 7. 1 10. Okay. Thanks, Simon. Have fun at work. As much fun as you can. So I go through, like, when I'm building these Kickstarters, I make like spreadsheets upon spreadsheets of how much I can sell things for, how much they're going to cost, what reward tiers, all these things. And there's so many possibilities that like it's impossible to make it perfect for everyone. But if anyone has any suggestions for reward tiers, for rewards, or boards you want me to build, like definitely let me know, because I'm totally open to hearing anything. Alright, ships, sure, October, anywhere in the world. That. And we'll do 100 of these. Alright. Early bird doesn't expire, it's just there's a set limit. So there's 25 of the hobbyist level and 100 Kickstarter specials. So yeah, the early bird, I think, let's see, early bird there's 25, and then the early bird of 100 there's 10. So there's quite a few. You should be able to get on the early bird, or yeah, should be okay. We're almost at $1,000, 17 backers. Keep streaming for a little bit longer as we do a few more things. But this is going to take up the majority of my day. Oh, cool. And trying to use Google AdWords is always fun. And now the emails begin, the messages on Kickstarter of people who want to promote and help my campaign. It's endless. The best is that these people tell me they promote campaigns and they help people get their funding goal, and their emails and messages look terrible. Like they try to take a percentage of your Kickstarter campaign, and then they say they'll promote you on different platforms. So it's like you get all these people trying to take a percentage of your Kickstarter to promote you, but they're just like scavenging off other people's Kickstarters. It's really funny. But they don't end for the whole campaign. And obviously it's a business tactic. It works for them. But they just don't help me. Hey Brian, what's going on? Patchbots, the enthusiast early bird. I don't think I changed anything. I added one, but the other one shouldn't be gone. Early bird enthusiast. It's right there. And then and then I added this one, the enthusiast Kickstarter special, which comes with the dev board, and 10 of them. Yeah, they're sort of like patent trolls, but they just have like a copy and paste message that says like my Kickstarter username and the name of my Kickstarter word for word. Like, how would you like help with your Kickstarter campaign? We help fund 80% of all funded Kickstarters, and I say all this stuff. But you know, they spam that message out to every new Kickstarter, and they'll hook a few people. They'll make some money, but I doubt they're helping them very much. I tried a few promotional things with the $5 fidget spinner. One that said it helped a lot of companies. Once the Kickstarter picks up speed, I'm more willing to spend a little bit more money on advertising because I know that it's not just going to be wasted, which is kind of funny because you'd think I'd advertise before. And one of them gave me like 2 backers maybe, and they claim that they have a ton of people that use their service. It's kind of silly. What kind of power are you distributing? How many LEDs? Like something really bright? You want like a lot of watts? What kind of drone is it? You probably built it, right? I'm assuming? Or is it like a DJI or something? Another backer? I keep meaning to do things. Are you using WS2812s or the APAs? It's not spamming. We don't have too many. We got 13 viewers. If it was cutting in, you can send me an email too if you want, but we can definitely talk about it. It's an electronics thing, so I'm cool with it. Alright. Have a good one. Thanks for coming out. And thanks for your future pledge when you hear back from Kickstarter. What was that, $1,000? $1,000 in. What was that, $1,000 in an hour? It's pretty awesome. You guys are awesome. So for the first 3 days. Thanks, Ryan. What are you working on right now? What time is it there? It's like 2, almost 3? Are you guys out of that drought yet? I heard it was pretty bad. That's good. Yeah, we just got some. We were getting rain all week. We haven't had rain for a while. We were on like a fire ban. Really like the idea of these little modules, so I'm definitely going to be making a few others. I think a separate boost buck converter or something is in order, and I have the LiPo charger for anyone who didn't see it earlier that I haven't mentioned in the Kickstarter yet, but it's kind of cool. It's not really part of the Kickstarter, but it's part of the series that I want to make. And the HCC module will hopefully reinforce that. No, I don't have one in mind. If you have something, if you have a suggestion for one you want designed, then I'm all ears to make one. Thanks, Anthony. The white with the gold half castellations looks really cool. I was considering putting a can on it, but it's not really necessary. And I think it looks kind of cool like this. So it's still pick and placeable. So the center of like the module is on the SAMD, so you can still like pick and place these if you want to put them in a tray or something, which was part of the thinking. Hey, we just hit 1K. Awesome. Just slightly over, just an hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, definitely let me know. I've used the Palulu board. Oh, cool. Palulu makes one that I've used, and it's pretty tightly packed. What's it called? Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to make some sort of ESP LED strip board as well. Don't need to, but I've got all these. I've got like 50 of these ESP everywhere. These ESP 8266s. Actually, right here. Look at all these. And I have plans for like 12 of them because I'm making a low power temperature sensor for each room in my house so that I can map it into a browser. But I gotta do something with them. Can give them away too, I guess. You couldn't get it going? What was it your own board or was it someone else's? I'll probably make a SAMD51 module as well in the future. But I haven't used it enough to know like how much power it requires and stuff. Why wasn't it working? Let's get a bootloader on it? Oh. Do you have Atmel Ice? We're 1/10 of the way there already. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Brian, those are left over from when I did the ESP everywhere boards. They bought like a whole bunch of them. Huh. Strange that you couldn't get it to work. I need to do an Adafruit purchase. So maybe I'll do that today. I was thinking of picking up the SAMD51 and some MIDI controllers and a couple other boards. Maybe I'll see if they're on DigiKey. I hate. Does anyone else ever use AdWords? Probably not, but I really hate the way it's laid out. Well, you got one person that would be interested in it. Also for Patreon. That might be even easier. Well, I know with like Kickstarter, it's pretty all plain text stuff that you can load. That's how I did my like pixel thing. That's good. I was a little nervous initially launching the Kickstarter, but it seems to be a good response so far. And I got a few projects going on, so now that I've launched, I can focus on those while still trying to promote this. And as this Kickstarter goes on, I'll be releasing some hopefully cool little projects using it, using the module, showing people what it can do. Ah, cool. Oh, nice. That's cool. Good to know. Let me know if you do, and I'll share it or something. Get some little thing working. Get some more Pixo stats going. And hopefully the West Coast people will be waking up soon. We'll get another round. The HCC model. It is an arduino-based microcontroller. It has a ton of GPIOs, low power, and most importantly, easy to solder. With a preloaded bootloader, just connect the USB lines and you're ready to program. Its small footprint makes it perfect for many shapes and sizes. Designing your first microcontroller board. Just watching the ad on Instagram. It's so easy to advertise now. It's pretty crazy. Robots. Yes. Always thinking about robots. Nothing specifically, but I might do a little robotic thing with the module. And I might be making some automation things something that will bend a piece of metal. That should be pretty cool. And yeah, what else? Something else. Oh, might be doing a little cave robot for a YouTuber, big time YouTuber that I won't mention yet. Like a little rover type thing that can fit into tight spaces. But the problem with caves is like you can't use RF signal because they get drowned out so much by all the dense material, like the rock. They all just get absorbed. So once they lose line of sight, you can't control them anymore. So it needs to be wired. And I'll probably make a little pack with like a Raspberry Pi and a screen and some cool joysticks so they can like feed the robot into tight spaces so they can see what's inside. Pretty excited for that. But yeah, they're kind of just fun projects. They're not like commissioned or anything, so they're on hold until the stuff that actually allows me to keep living keeps working. Alright. Got the YouTube ad hopefully running. Instagram ad hopefully running. And yeah. Probably quit the stream at 10:30. Nice 2.5 hour stream. The YouTube ad will probably play before people's videos as one of those annoying ads, you know, the skip in 5 seconds things. You can define who you want it to play to pretty precisely, but I find that just I don't have enough information really to narrow it down. So I throw in a few keywords, guess at a demographic, but I pretty much just let the algorithm like run and let it do its thing. Instagram is better because it relates it to people that already follow you. So on my idle hands, yeah, on my idle hands account, like the 5,000 or some odd followers mostly are into electronics and stuff. So it's gonna play the ad to people that aren't following me on Instagram, but are similar to those people, which makes it a lot easier. But YouTube gives you a lot more control, but a lot more places to screw up. So I try to run like simpler ones to see how they work, and then narrow them down after. But it's a small amount. I don't spend too much on advertising. Definitely worth it though when you're doing something like this. And I think one of the cool things is even if I don't get more backers, like I definitely probably I will, But I find you get a lot of subscribers from people that might like your future projects. That's one of the cool things, is like making a cool video that shows before someone else's cool video. It's just like, oh, hey, that I didn't know that person made YouTube videos. And the primarily the people who like support me and back my stuff are subscribers on YouTube, so they're the ones that you know, are giving me the most promotion and buying things and helping me live. So it's all intertwined. It's kind of cool. Almost at 10,000 subscribers. 1,400 to go. So this, hopefully, maybe this Kickstarter will push it over. I did a little bit of self-promotion in the Kickstarter video, so maybe new people who just see the Kickstarter will also subscribe to my channel. Oh, I know something I forgot to do. A big thing is to message all my old backers. That's the big one. That's the reason why you have old backers. You get the occasional person that wasn't. The biggest source of subs was when I did the Make series. I got like 5,000 subs from that, maybe 4, and like continuing. I'd say that's where a lot of them are coming from, the neural network project. But who knows? Maybe I would it was a pretty cool project, so people were interested in it. But the fact it was on Make really brought a lot of people over to mine. But I'd say a lot of my subs also come from Reddit posts, which I kind of wish wasn't the case. I mean, it's hard. Reddit's a very like select group of people, I find. Like it's a certain demographic. I wish there was a platform that was more like widely spread out. Time to make a message. Yeah, I thought about doing one for EEV blog, but I couldn't. I think I was in the middle of doing something when it was happening, so I couldn't really think of anything to do. That's definitely collaborating with other YouTubers is definitely the best way. But it's difficult to do also. Like I've spoken to a lot of YouTubers about collaborating and like everyone's on board, but then it's really hard to think of an actual thing to collaborate on. Sorry to all of my backers that will be receiving a message. from me if you backed multiple things, but I can't really discriminate. It just kind of sends out a whole list to everyone. But simple reminder. Yeah, how many guest videos were there total? Do you know? Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought it was over the course of a month, but if it's just 2 weeks, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, got a short, simple message. Gotta send all my old backers. And I gotta do some posts on Reddit. If anyone feels like posting in any subreddits, the Kickstarter or the Kickstarter video, that'd be cool. Or I can do it. And get yelled at for self-promoting. But I gotta do it. It's the only way. Alright. Stream slowing down a bit. I think I will cut it off here so I can focus on spamming out the Kickstarter everywhere, as usual. We'll call it there. Just over a 2-hour stream, not too bad. And yeah, can't believe we hit 10% already. That's great. It's awesome. So, everyone, I might stream again. Probably not today, but I've got some videos coming out soon with the projects using the HCC module. And I think everything should go well. I hope so anyways. And I got some cool projects. And if anyone has any cool ideas you want me to do for the HCC module that I'll open source, let me know. Tweet at me or send me a message. Leave a comment. Any of those things. And then we'll try to make it happen. I've got a few ideas. Thinking of doing like an SD card duplicator, which is kind of cool. Something for my car, actually, a GPS speedometer. I was thinking of doing that. I've been meaning to do one of those for a while. But like an analog one with the actual gauge. Yeah. And a bunch of other ideas that I'll show you as they come out. Anyways, thanks everyone for coming out to the stream. And I'll catch you next time. See ya!